Hey guys, welcome back to MuscleMentor.net. My name is Brad Hull and this is Justin Harris, and we are taking questions off Instagram right now. And the next one here is your personal outlook / approach on training splits, volume, intensity, and load specifically for bodybuilding and muscle hypertrophy. This is another one of those where I don't want to say it's overthinking, because all those things are involved. The biggest factor is just going to be your working hard. Go train hard. Justin and I, we train very differently, and I always have. The fact of the matter is, and you look at all the different training styles, and the one thing they have in common, you have to train your balls off. Whether you're doing mountain dog stuff, whether you're doing high intensity training, single set Mincer type stuff, during that set, your intensity has to be through the roof. And I think that's going to be the determining factor. If you watch the guys, who are hungry, who are growing, who are doing all that stuff, they go home, they eat with intensity, they train with intensity. The progressive overload we're always talking about, it's not just a going up in weight type thing. So if you do drop sets all the time, at some point you're going to have to, instead of just doing 3 drops, you're going to have to increase it to 4. You're going to have to find some way to increase that intensity. And that's really what it comes down to, finding grit at some point where you've gone from a newbie where you couldn't grind out a last rep to being able to grind out 2 reps when anyone else who's looking at you thinks that you should be done, where you're just sitting there stuck and you're still pushing, trying to get that final rep out. So without knowing, I say train the way that allows you to keep training. If you're old, you're not going to be able to deadlift 800 pounds for that long before your body starts falling apart. You're gonna have to switch things up. You're gonna have to find a way to push that intensity.
As far as training splits, I've always enjoyed the I don't want to say lower volume, because the total weekly volume for each body part is still pretty high, but I've always enjoyed the kind of Jordan Peters or DC type training, and just because I like to lift heavy, that's what gets me excited. And so I'll say that, but I'll preface that with a really hard caveat, and that's that no top bodybuilder ever has, of the last 30 plus years, since the mid 80s, has done anything different than the straight 1 body part a day, 5 days a week routine. And I say top bodybuilder, I mean there's guys like John Meadows who do maybe 7 days a week or do different things, but I'm talking about you go to the top 10 on the Mr. Olympia stage, they're all doing the same training split. And I say that even though I don't typically train that way, because that's not what gets me excited to train. But the formula for growth has kind of been decided. I mean, we haven't made progress as a sport in 20 years. Guys from the top 90s, top guys from the 90s would hang or beat guys from today. And so we found the formula. It's, meat and rice, gear and growth hormone, train 5 days a week, 1 body part per day. And then if you have the genetics for that all to come together perfectly, then that's what it takes. But train what gets you excited. And if you're not motivated and excited to train, you're not going to have a good workout. So even if your routine isn't necessarily what the top guys are doing, if it's what gets you fired up to train, it's probably better than going in and doing a single body part per day routine if you don't like that type of thing.